live, I go on my channel, it shows up under live streams. But for some reason, no matter how many times I refresh the page, this stream is not showing up. So I don't know who's going to see this, but I did share it on Patreon. And I guess you'll see it after also. But I don't know who's going to show up now because it's not even showing up on my channel. Anyway, thanks for dropping in, whoever is there. I'm kind of wondering if I should like... Oh, no, there it is. Okay. Okay, it's on my page. All right, so good. It did show up. It's just not in the... Okay, well, that's fine. I guess now it goes... Oh, hi! Hi, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for letting me know you're here. I was a bit worried. Gosh, this light is so bright. It's the light I got in the garbage. This one, it works super well. The mid-century modern light, but it's super bright. Maybe... Oh, that one was already on. Hey, guys, how are you doing? I got a couple updates for you that are kind of exciting for me. Purple Viking, Nicole Ray. Well, I gotta put this here. Brenda, hi. Hey, I hope you guys are doing well. Just fixing my lighting situation. I didn't think that I was gonna go live. I mean, I wanted to, but I didn't know if it was possible. Okay, so I have a few things I gotta tell you. I made myself a little list so I don't get too much off track. Does this seem kind of dark? Should I turn on this big light from the garbage? It's kind of worse, I think, actually, because of where it is. I think I'll put it here. And that was horrible side lighting. I don't know. You tell me if it was better the other way. So I want to tell you about my weekend. I left the city and went to the country, but just overnight. I had Black Friday on Poshmark and it was crazy. I mean, it was good for me. And it wasn't like, I know some people would have hundreds of sales, but for me, I had like 3 on Friday and then 4 like Friday night where it was actually Saturday, 1 more on Saturday. Okay, thanks, Viking. And then I had 2 more today, which I guess it doesn't seem like a whole ton of sales to some people, but for me, it's good and it's plenty. It's plenty. And this is the thing, like, actually, I'm very happy with this because I'm busy with many things. And if I had to like pack 15 orders a day, I don't know, I'd have to find a way to do it very efficiently because everything takes me a really long time to do for some reason. And just packing those orders was plenty, you know? So I was very happy with that. And so I did get the Posh Sidekick, which is supposed to help. I finally did get it, and since I got it, I've had a sale at least every day. Hold on, let me close the door because Gunner's still out there. Hold on a second. So getting a sale every day is very good news for me. At first, it seemed like it's definitely helping because one day I opened it in the morning where I usually don't really get much activity, and I had 2 offers which were great. One of them was on the Calvin Klein vintage sweater for $106. So I was like, yes, accept. That's great. And I got a full price offer for a vintage needlepoint stocking, which was very beautiful. But other than that, it was just like the same amount roughly of traffic or likes or sales. What happened this weekend was I sent out a mass message to everyone who has interacted with my closet. So actually like 1,500 people. And I told them I'm having a Black Friday sale up to 50% off all weekend. Plus you get the shipping discount. Let me know and I drop the price. And I think that that's what generated most of the traffic and the sales that I got, because a lot of them came through people responding to my message and saying, could you do this item for this price or that? And I accepted most of the offers. There was a couple that were a bit low ball, like a book that was supposed to be, I think 65. She said 25. Yeah, I mean, I could have done it, but I don't like when people really lowball me. I just feel like, I don't know, I feel a bit dirty, I guess, accepting it. So I didn't take it. And there was one other one. She almost bought the my second Juicy Couture hoodie, the one with all the gold sequins on the back. And it's up for 60. I offered her for 35. She wanted it for 30. And I said, well, how about 35? And I guess to some people, it doesn't seem to make a big difference if it's 30 or 35. But if you factor in what I paid for it, then the 5 plus the fact that Poshmark's covering the shipping discount, that makes it like $8.50. That's a big difference for me. So it does matter, especially when there's a lot of them. It does really add up. I mean, 10 like that, and it's $80, right? So I was pretty busy, and I just want to show you what I sold today. I do want to tell you about the weekend, but I also want to tell you about something that someone told me, and why I feel like I'm doing God's work by coming on here and talking to you about Poshmark. And I'm sure that some of you are like, why are you suddenly really into clothes? Oh, hi, Coccinelle, hi. I think some people, I'm sure, are kind of like, my husband included, why are you suddenly into clothes? You know, it's not that. I'm into making a living, right? And I'm into doing something I'm passionate about. I cannot possibly work a soul crushing job. First of all, I'm very incapacitated by various different things. And second, I just can't handle that. I'd probably get fired. And, I, you know, like I've said before, I'm probably not the most employable person because I have a lot of education, but it's in education, and yet I can't really work in a school environment. And anyway, long story. So, you know, I need to find something that works for me and that I really love to do so I don't feel like I'm dying a little every day, you know? And number two, why am I on here talking about it? Because I want to empower you all to do something as well. I want to encourage you because you can watch me from when I started doing this, where I was on Marketplace trying to sell a few things, to where I started reselling things that I was purposely buying to sell, not just my own stuff, to where I got on Poshmark, and that whole first period where it was very slow and all this learning curve that I had to go through, to now where it's actually working. And not only me, I've had some success, but not that much. But one of my viewers, because of what I've said on here, she's a mother of an autistic daughter, single mother, I think, of an autistic daughter. She had a bunch of debt, and, you know, I guess she was struggling. And because of the videos that I was making about what I was doing with reselling, she gave it a try, and she literally wiped out all her debt and more. And she said to me, I didn't even know I could do this. So this is why I'm telling you, because honestly, I think just about anyone can do this, even if you're disabled, you know, because I know I have a lot of people in my audience that also do have some disabilities, even if you're an autistic weirdo like me, or you have some other disability. This is like work from home, do it online. You can make some extra money. And that's why I'm on here telling you about what I'm doing, because I'm hoping that it'll encourage you to maybe give it a try. I mean, maybe it's really not your thing and you don't want to, and that's fine. But if you're kind of thinking, I need a few extra bucks, but I don't know, maybe it's hard, I want to encourage you. And I'm here to answer your questions if there's anything I can answer. So, you know, when she told me that, because of my videos, it this led her in this direction, and it has like helped her so much financially. I was like, that's it. I'm doing God's work, which is how I always felt about it. So that just, you know, made me really happy, because, you know, what more can we do in life? You know, what better thing can we do in life than to pass it on, help somebody else, you know? So that's awesome. I didn't say her name just in case, like, she doesn't want me to tell you who she is, but she's had great success, way more than me. And now I'm looking to her for like, what are her tricks, you know? But I'm happy. I'm very happy with how it's going now. It's manageable. It's like working, but it's manageable. It's not like, you know, oh, hi, Wild Bill. Hi, David. Okay. Bright Purple Viking says, I have a great Goodwill near me that has great stuff like vintage household decor. Yay! That is so desirable. As long as it's in good shape. They're very picky out there. They don't want any nicks or cracks or chips or whatever. But that is an excellent find. I would even say, if you find really good vintage decor now, buy it now. If you don't even sell it this year, you'll sell it next year. That stuff is very desirable. Look, I do Marketplace. I don't do eBay. Marketplace is okay, but it's a funny platform. They've got a crazy AI in there that has, like I've said before, it has flag things randomly. That's the only issue I've really had with Marketplace, is getting flagged for selling weapons or animals when I'm totally not. I wouldn't worry about fraud buyers. Like, it's pretty easy to detect them. Okay, right now on Marketplace, I'm only selling a few things. Most of my listings are stale. I sold a a sweatshirt the other day, but right now I'm trying to sell an oak buffet, which is like a big piece of furniture, and I'm actually intermediary for someone else. I put it up, and I put on Kijiji as well, because I think you can sell furniture on Kijiji. And somebody messaged me, he wants to buy it, but he said, hold it for me, but I'm going to send, oh, hi, Matt. I'm going to send, what did he call it? Like some kind of pickup service, Purolator. I think he said, I'm going to send a Purolator courier to pick it up and to give you your money. If anybody ever says that, don't do it, because it is a scam. I don't know exactly how they do it, but they send the person and then they actually bill you for them coming, and the bill for them, it's like an insane amount of money. So anytime someone says they're sending a courier, don't go for it. Other than that, if you're selling vintage household decor, you're not going to get very much for it, but you'll still get something, especially if you're getting it cheap. It's worth it. I don't think there's any point to meeting people outside the house. You got to think, like, if someone is a criminal or a drug addict and they're going to try and rip someone off through Marketplace, they're going to look for someone who's selling expensive items that they're going to want to steal and sell on the black market. They're not going to come to your place for Christmas decor and rip you off. It's very unlikely, because they don't know what else you have. You might have absolutely nothing. Are they going to take the risk, take the time to go to your place to try to rip you off when they don't even know what you have, and all they know is you have Christmas decor? They're not going to do that. They're going to go and meet someone who has gold or who has electronics. That's what I've found. And at that point, it doesn't even matter if they meet you at your home or meet you in public. You're just as likely to get ripped off. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I don't know about where you live, but where I live, the police station has a meetup place at the police station, so there's an option. But eBay, I think it's good. It's just that you have to figure out the shipping sort of yourself, which it's not hard. You can, like in Canada, we can use the Canada Post website. You put the dimensions and the weight. You need one of these. You need a little digital kitchen scale to weigh your items and measure them. And that will tell you about how much it's going to cost. And then you can put that for the shipping. You know what, Bright Purple Viking, are you in the States or are you in Canada? Well, I've been concerned about that also, of people claiming that they received a different item. Like, you send something in good condition and they receive it and then they have a broken one and they say, oh, look, it was broken. I guess it could happen if it's an item that is frequently found, but honestly, like with really unique Christmas items, especially ones that are not breakable, like what is the chance that you're going to happen to find the person that's going to do that? It hasn't happened to me yet. No, I've heard of that happening, but I think depending what it is, but Christmas decor, I kind of doubt it. I would just go ahead and do it. I mean, in the 6 months that I've been doing this on Poshmark, I've had one person try to scam me into a partial refund, making up stuff about a garment that there was no problem. And I said, okay, send it back. You know what? Here's one thing. Here's the thing, Bright Purple Viking. This is what I've learned from other people, because I don't do eBay. The solution to this is you say returns accepted. Customer pays shipping. So anytime there's a problem, you say, no problem, just send it back. But they have to pay the shipping. So for something like a small item, they, are they they're not going to open a federal case on, they're not going to open a case on eBay because they can just send it back. Is it possible that occasionally somebody might send back a broken thing that wasn't yours? Yeah, but it's still worth it because it's pretty rare, I think. I would still do it. In fact, I'm selling some glass today. What are the chances she's going to have that same glass and send me a broken one? Or it's not going to happen, you know. So if you're, I was asking you if you're in the States or in Canada, because you know what I would recommend? Poshmark, because there's returns, but the items that you send are photographed, and you can also take photographing of the packing, so you can show them that you packed it securely, or you could just not send breakable items, you know, like I sold this Christmas stocking. It's made out of cloth. It's not going to break. I would say go for Poshmark. It's the easiest because yes, they take 20%, but I mean, you have to mark it up. You can put it on Marketplace for less. You know, like an item that you'll sell on Poshmark for 40, you'll sell it on Marketplace for 20. You're probably not going to make a fortune on any given item, but over time, you know, it adds up. But the thing with Poshmark is very easy because there's no shipping to calculate. There's nothing. I mean, you have the scale in case something is over the weight, but basically you just print the label and send it. It's rare that things will go over the weight limit. Okay, so I messaged all those people and that's how I got my sales. And I just want to show you a couple things that sold today. This was the total score. This is a Lululemon hoodie. And they love this stuff out there. Apparently this is so popular, especially when they're solid colors. And I was lucky enough to find one and I paid $12. I sold it originally. Okay, I had some hassles with this sale, but seriously, it was up for like 2 days and it sold. So those things, you see them up for $100. That's pretty standard. 128 new, you see them up for 100. They sell for 100 or maybe 80. You know, I put it up for 100 and I figured, well, I mean, no harm in trying. If they don't want to pay 100, I'll take a lower offer. So since it was a closet clear out, this girl asked me, will you negotiate? And I was like, sure, why not? And she asked me if I would do it for 67. And I was like, well, how about I do it for 70 and you get the shipping discount automatically through Poshmark? And she was like, can you do it for 67? And I was like, oh, red flag. You know, when somebody like, if I'm the seller and I'm trying to set my price and I want to give 30% off, why are you asking me to go to 67? So $3 is a bit weird. So I was a bit worried about that. Hi, Soul Josiah. But I said, okay, you know, maybe it's her budget and that's all she has on her credit cards. I said, all right, then we'll do it for 67. I drop the price, the shipping discount kicks in, she buys it, and then she starts going, I hope there's no fading on the seams. Now, I had pictures up. Okay, look, if it was me and I was buying one of these and it's used, I wouldn't expect it to look 100% new. And you could see, look, this is how it looks. Is there fading on the seams? I mean, maybe very, very slightly, you know, like it doesn't look very used, but is there a little bit of fading? Probably, but it showed it in the picture. You know, I mean, to me, it's not noticeable in real life. There's not like any given spot where it's faded. But as soon as she started asking me questions, I was like, it's another picky Nicky, you know? So I don't want anybody buying it and then saying, oh, she didn't disclose there's fading. I mean, the fading is pretty much imperceptible, but if you're looking for perfection, then maybe you won't be satisfied. So I was like, look, why don't you cancel? Oh, hi, Pedro. Why don't you cancel the purchase? And at this point I was in the country. I'll go home. I'll take more pictures. I'll put some video. I'll show it to you. And then you can decide if you want it. We can redo the whole thing. And she was worried about that. She asked me, could I do it for 62 then? And I was like, oh my God, she's bargaining me down again. These things are valuable. Why are you asking me to do it for 62? And I was like, I don't know. And I didn't want to say yes on the spur of the moment, but I I knew that like once I okay, because I had put it on reserve for her. Once I put it back up, this offer would expire because it's been 6 hours, and I would have to take it down another 10% to reinvigorate the offer. So I said I'm going to delete and relist it. So I did do that, and then I thought, you know what? It's Black Friday. Screw it. I'll do it for 62. It's 38% off. But why not, right? I mean, I could have put it up for 80, and I just said, you know what? Yeah, I'll do it for 62. So I sold it to her, but then I messaged her and I was like, so you're sure you're happy now and you're okay with the amount of fading? She said, yes, because I don't want somebody to take it and then open a case against me. So I just made sure to have all my bases covered. So there was that. And it was kind of a hassle because that whole thing took 6 hours to sort out. No, you can't tell them to F off. You have to be professional. And I finally sold this, which I bought last summer, which is a Joseph Ribkoff blouse, which is really good. I can't remember what I sold it for, but it wasn't very much. I think it was like $30 or something. I made her a really good offer. I was just like, take it. It's fine. I'll go shopping again. And I sold something I want to show you. Something very special from my glass collection. Better not chip it now. Now it's sold, so I better be very careful. Take the price tags off now. So these are really special. They're very collectible. These are from Expo 67 glasses, and there's this one is Quebec, and there's another one, I guess it says Ontario on it. So I've got 2 Quebec and 2 Ontario, and it's this green and gold, and it's really old. It's from 67, but it's perfect. Like there's like really, I don't know if you can see it well, but is something very special. And I figured they would sell. I asked for 60. I agreed to sell it for Black Friday for $40 for 4 of them. I paid $3 each, so that would be $12, but I think that I got a little bit of a discount. So I think that I paid like $9 or $10 for the 4 of them. So Poshmark's going to take something. So I guess I made about $22. And you know what though? Like the amount of work that it takes to package and ship glass makes me wonder whether it's worth it, going forward. Because I made $22 profit on 4 of these. And I also made, about $20 profit off of this. All I have to do with this is put it in a bag, stick it in an envelope. I don't have to worry about it. This is going to be a whole big project. So I'm not so sure that I'm going to be picking up glass anytime soon again. Let me go put it away. I mean, if it's something... Hold on. If it's something very valuable, like this crystal perfume bottle, which I paid very little for, I mean, honestly, and I have it listed for 80, and it is valuable. It's rare, and it's Art Deco. This would be worth it for me, because maybe I could make $40 or $50. But seriously, for $20, 4 glasses, and when there's multiples, it's really difficult to package because you have to make sure they don't clink against each other. So maybe Marketplace is better for glass. Yeah, centennial year, more collectible. I know. Yeah, they really are. But I mean, it's just only certain people who want that kind of stuff. And in a way, like Poshmark, see, the difference is like with eBay, I think you can sometimes get a better price on eBay, and especially if there's a lot of watchers and then you hold an auction, because they watch first. And if you've had it up for a while and there's a lot of people in the auction, sometimes people make thousands of dollars on an item. On Poshmark in Canada, when you auction, you start very low, And there are usually very few people in the show. You're not going to make a ton of money on it. Poshmark's more of like an online thrift store, to be honest. So you don't I mean, not with the kind of stuff I sell. I think depending on what it is, it's clothing, but no, it's also, yeah, you can sell glass. You can even sell some electronics. Yeah, put your stuff on Poshmark. It's very easy. Hold on, I put this away. I might have showed you this. I'm selling this on Poshmark too. And this is Burke's Limoges, and it's a vintage lighter set. And this is the holder for the cigarettes. And there's a little ashtray that comes with it. I have this up for 158. Maybe I won't give anyone a discount on this one. I don't have to. And I might have showed you this. This is a napkin holder. Where's it made? Was it Hungary? Yeah, these things are valuable. You see them on Etsy for like 50 something, 60 something, even 75. Oh, yeah, I found out something about Etsy though. I found something out though. They hold your money for 45 days. That is totally uncool. And then while they're holding your money, they can easily ban you for any random thing. I keep hearing about people leaving Etsy because they can, if like you didn't answer an email or you made some little slip up, they can like shut down your store instantly. So that's very dodgy. From what I understand, Poshmark has a lot of good vibes. Like people are nice to each other generally, at least in Canada. Um, yeah, it's just like good vibes all around. People share each other's stuff. They invite each other into their shows to share together. Poshmark, the app itself, so far at least, isn't draconian like Marketplace or Etsy. They don't hold your money. As soon as the person accepts the offer and it goes through, you can cash out right away. It doesn't even matter how much it is. Like literally, if I make $300 this weekend, as soon as that stuff comes in, I can cash it out. So that's great. They don't hold your money. So there you go, Purple Viking. It's probably the best option. I can't imagine somebody holding my money for 45 days. Yeah, it is. I don't know about commie. I think it's more like super corporatist. Apparently it's owned by BlackRock now. It used to be this nice kind of boho place for people to sell their handmade stuff, and now it's like, yeah, it's like draconian. There's a case that was in the newspaper here of a woman who Etsy owed her $5,000, holding it for 45 days, and then they popped her store for some dumb reason, which probably she didn't deserve. Just like the same way that you could accidentally make some little slip up on YouTube and they could just take you down completely. So with a platform like that, you don't want to invest in it. Who wants to invest their time and energy and grow on a platform that's that toxically draconian? Because I wanted to go on Etsy too. I thought it would be good to have it in more places, but now I'm like, I don't know about that. Maybe if it was like little things that I don't really care, that I paid like nothing for, I could put them on there. And it's supposed to be handmade, but apparently people are constantly buying things from Alibaba or AliExpress and selling them as handmade on Etsy. So it's a lot of that. And yeah. How do I photograph? Well, this light's been great. I use this light now. I have a ring light, but the ring light isn't very powerful. I just put it up against either a white wall or the closet, and then I just illuminate it with whatever powerful lights I can find. I take photos with my phone, and I use Photo Room as a background remover. And that's a good program. I looked for many, and that one, it is free to use, but you get a watermark. But now that I have Posh Sidekick, which by the way, Bright Purple Viking, let me tell you, if you get on Poshmark, the first little while that you're on there, Poshmark gives you a boost. So when you get on there, try to list every day. Make sure you have your photos ready or whatever. Make drafts if you want. make sure to crank out listings every day, and make sure you use the feature to share your whole closet from your, like on your main store page. There's a button that you can look it up, but you got to do bulk share, and you share your whole closet. Don't be sitting there sharing things individually. You're going to waste your time and you won't get that much shared. Share it at least every hour, your whole closet. Because in the beginning, Poshmark sort of promotes new users so that they can get some traction. I didn't know that. So I didn't know how to use that share feature either. So if you can take advantage of the fact that you're new, and use that feature, and preferably get yourself a Posh Sidekick right away, because it's going to share your listings around the clock in a safe way so you don't get banned for oversharing. Use that push that Poshmark gives you in the beginning to get that traction and to get sales. Once you start listing every single day, like I list 10 things every day, but at this point I don't have to photograph 10 items. I just delete my old listings and relist them. If it's been there for 60 days, you can relist it. So you don't have to, like, you could list 3 items a day. I would say at the beginning, try to like list maybe 40 or 50 to get your closet going, and then list 3 new ones at least every day. And then after 60 days, you can start recycling your listings that didn't sell. And I would say, yeah, get the Posh Sidekick. I mean, it's $30 American a month, but it will save you so much trouble. Because if not, you're going to be sharing your listings and sharing other people's and reverse sharing, like sharing back. And you're going to be spending all day dicking around with that. Once you get this thing, it just, even if it's not going to help you make a lot of sales, kind of doesn't matter. You're going to make at least as many sales as you do without it. And you won't be spending all your time on the phone, because it's going to drive everybody in your family crazy, or just you if it's only you. That's my advice. Get your listings up pronto. Share your closet multiple times a day from the beginning. List every day and get yourself the virtual assistant. Hopefully quickly. And that's going to give you some traction. And once you start listing every day and you start getting sales every day, the algorithm goes, oh, this is a good closet. Let's push it up. And it'll show your listings to more people. I can give you more tips too, but get it going. Yeah, you just start it, Okay, so Black Friday sales, the weekend, I want to tell you about the res, but I want to show you this one last thing about the Poshmark and the selling. Check out this thing that I found. I've been finding these awesome sweaters, right? You know about my Dale of Norway sweater? That one is amazing with the pewter clasps here. I sold the Calvin Klein. That one was fabulous. And this one is my new, like, amazing Holy Grail thrift store sweater. Check it out. And it's hot too because it's wool. I'm wearing it today because I'm going to list it and maybe sell it soon. It's vintage 1990s. It's from Ecuador. It's wool. It's handmade. And check out the hood. It's got the pointy hood. You guys remember these? Isn't that awesome? Wait, I gotta put my hair in the front so I look like super hippie boho. There we go. Look, I'm a 90s chick. Wait, you gotta see that little pointy hood. Heinzelmännchen. How cool is that? I want you to get a good look at it. Tell me what you think. And it's got a daisy here and a daisy on the front. Hippie boho. Oh my God. This thing is so awesome. I love it. I saw it and I was like, what is that? And I was trying it on. There was another guy. I know he was looking around for reselling too. I could tell. And he was like, oh, that's really good. And I was like, yeah, I know. I got lucky. Yay. Isn't that awesome? Could wear it like this. My pointy little head. This thing is amazing, and it's really nice. I love the color, and I love how warm it is. And it's got a zipper, and it's got kangaroo pockets. So this is going to go in my store, but when I was trying to look it up and see like, well, what's it worth exactly? I mean, I know it's worth something, but how much exactly? And what do you call it? Apparently it's called Pachamama. So that's my Pachamama. So I saw that there is a girl who's looking for one of these. And I saw that they have sold for $200 in the past. That might have been during an auction. I'm not really sure. Or it could be she had listed it for that and she sold it in a bundle for less. I don't know. But they definitely sell for a lot of money. They're very rare. So I was thinking, I think I'm going to message her and tell her, hey, I have what you're looking for. Maybe she would like to buy it right away. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I can get for it. But anyway, I've got to take it off. It's so hot now. But yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to let it go. Yeah, happy flower sweater. This is just amazing, right? So vintage, so 90s. It's got a few pills on it. But anyway, I'm working on that. And I also bought something on Poshmark. I bought a couple things. I bought this blue vest. What is it from? Northern Reflections. It's got a little embroidered bird on it. And it didn't look very good. Oh, hi, Variant. Yeah, nice to see you. Yeah, I'm doing well. I've moved on to bigger and better things. Well, things where I can actually earn a living. I think I'm into reselling now. So yeah, look, it has this nice embroidery on it. And where's that thing? Well, I'll show you some other time, I guess. But I bought it in a bundle with this other sweater. And you know what? I knew it was going to be too small for me. It's a little bit small. But I got it for like $5. So I was like, whatever. I bought the sweater for me and I bought a hoodie for my mother. And then she had this and I was like, you know what? Throw that in too while you're at it. I could probably just put it back up in my store or put it on Marketplace. And if I sell it for 15, it's like I got back, you know, a good part of my order. I don't know. Like sometimes I just like to buy something that I think is really cute and have it around for a while. And if I really can't wear it, then eventually I'll let it go. Okay, what else? Oh, okay, I wanted to tell you about Gunner. Like, we found out that there's something really wrong with him that we had no idea, and he probably needs surgery. And also my weekend, I just want to tell you quickly how that went. Just gotta take a hit off my vape first. I know I just kind of popped up here like really randomly. There's not a lot of people here, but I wanted to give you an update after the weekend, and then I got to put Gunner to bed. It's super late. So yeah, he went to his friend's house, and he actually took the bus by himself down there, which was amazing. Like he took the metro and then got on the bus to go down to this town, which is on the border with the U.S. He did all that by himself. He didn't even pack a bag though. He just like put his toothbrush in his pocket and took off. But that's pretty good, you know. He's taking the transit all by himself, even to like a completely different town. And he wanted me to pick him up. I didn't want to drive down and back the same day, so I was busy, man. I was like packing up all the stuff that I sold. Yeah, it's amazing, eh? Yeah, that he can do that by himself now. It's pretty good. Yeah, you know, there's improvements. I mean, school is still kind of in the toilet, but whatever, you know. Um, he's 16. School's been a bit of a write-off, but you know, he's a great kid. So yeah, I had to like set up the apartment so Aaron could take care of the rabbits. I had to take care of Aaron. I had to do a bunch of last minute things. And then I drove down there, and my timing was really good because I didn't want to drive in the dark, and I slid in like just as the sun was going down. It was perfect. And I even had time to stop on the res. So I never really went to the res before. And I have driven through there a couple times now. And I was like, one of these days I'm going to have to stop and like check it out, you know? Because a lot of people go shopping on the res because for one, there's no tax. And B, they sell all the stuff that is banned here in the rest of Quebec. I've been to the res up by Oka. What's that one called? Ganasatake, that's the one up north, and Ganawage is the one down here. So I've been to Ganasatake before, but only like just drove through and stopped at the pot shops, and that's about it. And that's all it is. That town, when you drive through, it's just smoke shop, pot shop, smoke shop, just going through. So they're kind of famous for like bingo, cigarettes, pot, vape juice, flavored vape juice, which is now banned here. Although, if you know the right people, you can still get it, but officially it's banned. I mean, you can still order it by mail, but they're not allowed to sell it in Quebec because our government's super corrupt. They want to make sure these vape people go out of business so big tobacco can like sell more tobacco. What else? Oh, fireworks. You can get fireworks on the res. You can get all kinds of bongs and things like that. So basically, like all the fun stuff. And you can play bingo. You know, they're famous for gambling and stuff. So I stopped into this shop and I got Aaron a little tray for his tobacco because he's always got tobacco all over the table because he doesn't have anything to put it in. And I can't give him like something breakable because he will break it. I found this perfect little table. Don't tell him, but I'm going to give it to him for Christmas. And I found a nice candle for my friend that we were going to, well, Gunner's friend's mom, that is now my friend, that we were going to stay with. Like, gorgeous candle, smelled like pumpkin apple. And it was a good price, you know, with no tax. And yeah, they had like all kinds of fireworks and bongs, and it was just like a party in there. And the girl was really nice, and it was fun. And I posted a couple pictures. They still have like the the old fashioned like Indian in front, right? Which they got rid of everywhere else, but they still have them on the res. And it was this like old fashioned general store, like you see in my posts. I mean, inside it didn't look like it was 100 years old, but outside it did. It was cool. So we went down there and I didn't video, I didn't take pictures. I didn't really do very much, but I managed to make sales while I was down there. That's another cool thing, Viking. You know, with this, you can sort of work on it on the go. You put your listings up. Once you get it to a certain point and you have your automated assistant, it just kind of runs itself and it becomes like a passive income virtually. You get the stuff up and then you just keep recycling your listings, and your virtual assistant is doing all the hard work for you. And then you check every day if you got a sale. I mean, I check to see if I get messages too, but actually I should probably check because I think maybe I did message people. Let me just check. Wouldn't want to miss a message. That's the only thing. But basically, that's all you got to do. Okay, no, that's it. No messages. Okay, great. And yeah, you can like even sell stuff on the go. So that's cool. Um, so yes, one more thing that so Gunnar had this problem with his knees, and yeah, Viking, give it a try. And when am I gonna rescue you from America and we get married? Wait, you want to marry me? You don't know what you're getting into. Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. I just lost your comment. Where is it? Where's the video? Okay, when are you gonna rescue me from America and we get married? Kids are cool, long as I can have time to wrestle Bret Hart. Haha, that's pretty funny. Okay, I know you're joking now about kids because like, my factory has gone out of business. My baby factory. So yeah, Gunnar apparently has a birth defect that he has like misshapen knees, like inside the meniscus is called a discoid meniscus, and it's literally very misshapen and it's kind of doomed, which we had no idea because we thought that his problem with his knee was because he tripped. I made a video about it when he was 10. He sort of tripped over the dog leash, and I guess that's when it started to tear. But then we had brought him to the doctor and he said like one leg was like some of the muscles were atrophied and he couldn't straighten the leg all the way. On the other one, he can't bend it all the way. And we thought, well, this is because he had this injury. It wasn't attended to. And he's been walking wrong on it all these years. And we just need some physiotherapy, or let's find out what's wrong with it. And when they did the MRI, they told us he had a torn meniscus. And so our doctor said, well, what does this mean? And he was like, well, It just means you're never going to be a professional soccer player. You guys may have heard of my doctor before, the one who always tells me I'm fat. He was very dismissive. He was just like, oh, you just never be a soccer player and don't worry about it. Well, it turns out actually it is much, much more complicated than that. The whole thing is misshapen, and so it's being like worn on the wrong way. It's breaking up, and it's also scrunching up. It's totally screwed, and you basically have to have surgery. And the surgery, it's about 80% success rate, but okay, so 20% it fails right away. Out of the other 80%, about 50% need a revision surgery. So it's like 50-50 that it works, basically. And I mean, I don't know about with the revision, if it's again 80%. No, yeah, it's really bad. It's like his knees are like defective, and it's just going to get worse as he gets older. And imagine at school they've been telling him to go up and down stairs, and when he doesn't want to go, they're acting like, oh, stop making a big deal out of it. And the gym teacher is, getting mad at him because he doesn't want to run or play basketball. And actually, it turns out he has like a deformity, like a birth defect. And the doctor actually said, and it's quite an extreme case. So it's about as bad as it can get as far as this goes. So all they can do is do a surgery to try to reshape it. So crazy. I hope it helps. So he would have a surgery and he would be not able to walk on it for 6 weeks. And he would need 6 months of rehab after that, just for one leg. So he has to think about it, whether he wants to do it now. He could do it now, or he could wait. It will get worse with time. And he gets up until he's about 20 for them to treat him. Because the thing is, I said to him, if you have the opportunity to do this while you're young with this hospital, it's probably a good opportunity, because they have a whole team and they're going to pamper you and they're going to provide all the physio. When you're an adult, it's very hard to get something like knee surgery. You basically have to be unable to walk for 2 years before they'll even consider you, from what I understand. So that's what we're dealing with. And yeah, we just have to, well, he has to make a decision about when he wants to do the surgery. So we're on the list to go back and see them again in 3 months and see if we've made up our minds, But it's so crazy. I've never heard of this. I had no idea. Yeah, it was quite a surprise. Although we at the same time we're like, oh, so that's what it is, But yeah, he's had all kinds of problems with his legs. I hope it's only the knees, though. Well, if it works, okay, like I said, about 40% of the 80% that works need some further revision, more surgery. So that means out of the 100 people, there's only 40 that it's going to work perfectly and there's no more issue. What happens after that? I don't know. He certainly is never going to be able to be an athlete. He can't really run on it. He can't even really walk very far. Yeah, exactly. Like Varian says, it sucks that he really has an issue and you didn't know. Sometimes we think our kids are being dramatic or difficult, but there's really an issue. I didn't think he was being dramatic or difficult, because, I mean, he is a little bit obsessed with his body right now, but why would he not run or walk, or what? He's not like, why would he do that? He I don't think there's anything in it for him. It's more like our doctor that just didn't believe that it was anything really serious. Can't wait to go and see him and be like, oh, by the way, he has a deformity and he needs surgery and it's really serious, and thanks for taking it seriously. Not, as Brett would say, Ronald goddamn McDonald? What? If it was you're talking about the kids that we're gonna have. I think you picked the wrong girl, man. Seriously, like, those days are over for me. If it was a boy, we can call him Doc McStuffins. Doc McStuffins. Does it say Doc? Yeah, Doc McStuffins. Ronald McGoddam Donald. Imagine if somebody actually named their kid. I don't think they would allow them on the birth certificate. Doc McStuffins. I think you have to use your actual last name, but imagine if somebody really tried to do that or tried to change their own name to that. Doc McStuffins. It's like a porno name. Yeah, you remember the videos where he went to the hospital? Yeah, yeah. Well, he went to the hospital when he got he broke his foot. But he went to the physio in Westmount. That was for the knee. Yeah, this doctor variant, he never takes me seriously. I've said this to everyone, but since you haven't been here, when I was going through menopause and I told him, I think I'm going through menopause. He's like, you're too young. That's impossible. Turns out I was going through menopause. After it was over, then he gave me a blood test and he was like, oh, you're postmenopausal. Actually, he gave me a blood test before that. And he was like, oh, your estrogen is really high. And I was like, yeah, but look at my FSH. My FSH was at like 100. And I was like, don't you know what that means? How come I know more than you do about this? So your estrogen goes up and your FSH goes through the roof. That's right before the factory shuts down. And then, well, it turned out I was right. Then I said, I think my thyroid is swollen. He was like, there's nothing wrong with your thyroid. It turns out I have multiple nodules in it. What else was there? Oh, so many things. Oh yeah, I told him I had this pain in my hips. He was like, you're fat, you need to lose weight. Go to the gym. Turns out I have a broken bone in my spine. Not kidding. Then my son too, I was like, there's something wrong with him. He's in pain all the time. He's like, oh, it's just growing pains. Turns out he has juvenile fibromyalgia. I mean, every time it's like something serious, you know? No, it's not so easy to get a new doctor around here. It's very difficult. I'd have to fire him and then go on a waiting list, and I could be on it for 5 or 10 years. And then I would be an orphan with no doctor. It would suck. It's worse. I'm not doing it. I have to deal with Dr. What should I call him? Like Dr. Naysayer? Dr. Roadblock. He's kind of nice though. I like him, you know. I like him as a person. Well, the thing is, he's been my doctor for 10 years now. I think that he should know by now that usually if I have something that I'm concerned about, that there's a real issue, that I'm not the kind of person who likes to go to the doctor for attention. Dr. Asholio. Yeah. Well, certainly I'm not a hypochondriac, you know, because I mean, I'm so paranoid about medications. Like I never even want to take anything. Uh, Oh yeah, when I was having all these fainting spells and like breathing issues, of course that was like, it's all psych. You want to send me to psych? I got my implants out. Now I don't have those problems. So like, what happened? You know? Yeah, he's a Dr. Roadblocker. Dr. Denial. Dr. Denial. Yeah. Always telling me I'm fat. And I've told you guys before, but you haven't heard this variant. When I go, I tell him I have a problem with pain in my hips, telling me I'm fat. And he's like, don't eat. And then at the end of the appointments, he always goes, don't eat too much, Sonia, because, you know, and he does the face. He does the double chin and the belly. Like, don't eat too much. Oh my God. This guy. So uncool. But I mean, I guess what it is like when I come in there, because I hardly ever go and there's so little time, I just start like rambling really fast. I'm like, so there's this, and we did this, and he thinks I'm just kooky because I talk too much. But it's like, listen, I might be a flaky aspie, but I'm always right, you know? I'm not even fat. Like, this is how fat I am. Wait, make sure that my clothes are on properly at least, because I'm a fat slob, you know? Go. Ugh! I got so much stuff here. Okay, this is how fat I am. What? I'm still stepping on things? Oh my God. Okay. This is how fat I am. I mean, does that look really fat to you? A bit, you know, but like it could be worse. I'm not exactly obese. I'm a little chunky, but I think it looks fine. I'm not thin. I'm like a size 12. Well, somewhere between 12 and 14. I'm not thin. Let's be honest. It's okay. I mean, I guess maybe by some country standards, I'm pretty slim, but I don't think it's fair for him to attribute everything to me being fat, you know. I think I look fine. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I am 52, like it, it was the menopause. It made me gain 20 pounds. Literally, that's what happened. And I found out it's a hormonal thing. It's because you stop producing estrogen. So your body makes you put on fat, which produces a hormone called estrone, which replaces your estrogen. So your body is like forcing you to get fat. That's why everything you do before doesn't work anymore. I should have gone on the HRT right away from the get-go. People were telling me, don't do it, you're croning, it's natural, blah blah blah, and I thought I would get through it and I would just crone naturally and then my life would move on, and not at all. It was horrible. I suffered. It probably shrank my brain. It made my belly get fat. And it screwed up my bones. So like it was bad that I didn't go on HRT, so I don't recommend it. No, but see, that's the thing. Like, he goes, you're obviously not anorexic, wink. But you know what? If you saw how I eat in a day, you'd be surprised. This is the thing. If you're 20 and you're like this, maybe more likely that you eat a lot more. I don't eat more than I did 10 or 15 years ago. I actually eat less. When you saw me on here and I was skinny mini, I ate more then than I do now. I don't even eat breakfast anymore. For lunch, I'll have like a couple pieces of toast and I'll eat dinner. And if I ever eat sweets or anything, it's like a couple of little things. Like I never eat like junk food, hamburgers, fries, whatever. Like I just don't even have that in the house. The closest I get to is like nuts. So it gives this impression that like if I have fat on me, I must like be overeating, but I swear I don't know how much less I could eat. I get so hungry every day that it's like it gets to the point where like I can barely function. I'm serious. Like I eat so little because if I eat anything, it just sticks. No, it's hormones. It's menopause. And when I was younger, I used to see women in their 40s and 50s and I'd be like, oh, they're all fat. Why don't they take care of themselves? And then I got to menopause and I was like, oh, so it just kind of like comes on you and it's like impossible to get rid of, huh? I didn't know that. But anyway, whatever. And the last thing was Gunnar went to a lecture at the university and it was supposed to be on hip hop and stereotypes in the music industry. And it ended up being all about cancel culture. And he basically said to me that it's like you can see how people are being pressured to think a certain way. It was amazing the insights that he had being only 16 and going to this university. They were talking about like, I think Dave Chappelle was one of them. Comedians whose content would now be considered so offensive that they should be canceled. And they gave an example of a joke that he made, and a girl in the class laughed at the joke, and everyone was like, oh, what is that? Everybody started like gasping and whispering, like, oh my God, she laughed at the joke. And then somebody was like, you laughed at the joke. And she was like, no, I didn't laugh. And she tried to cover it up. And I asked Gunnar, well, was the joke funny? He was like, yeah, it was funny. But you're not allowed to laugh at it now. I don't know what the joke was. But he said to me that there's so much pressure from the group on any individual that if they express thinking that is out of line with the group think, they will be pressured, like peer pressured, like ganged up on by the entire class. And so nobody wants to be that person who's, the target. And I was like, wow. So they really are like brainwashing people. Interesting. It wasn't really like that when I was in university. You had much more freedom of speech and thought. But he had the chance to go there to see what it's like. And I was like, go, it's a great opportunity. And he was like, what for? I was like, just go, you get to see it firsthand. And I think it was a great opportunity, but it was an eye-opener for him about how people can be manipulated to think a certain way. He saw it with his own eyes. And he came home and told me about it. I almost wish that he would tell you now, but he's playing video games again. And I have to get him to bed. So, okay, I guess that's it for my wrap up. I just wanted to let you know, and if you didn't get to watch it live, but you're watching the rerun later, well, thanks for watching, and leave me a comment about what you've been up to. And I think that was it. Yep. Okay, well, thanks a lot for joining me, you guys. And I guess I'll see you on Tuesday, God willing. Okay, have a good night, guys. Bye.